Hi guys and welcome back to Milk Mummies. Today's conversation is for every mum who's ever wondered whether becoming a mum meant putting a part of herself on hold. Joining me are the actors and co-founders of Mother Act, Phoebe, Sparrow and Allegra Marland. Together, they're creating a space for mothers in the acting industry to feel seen, supported and connected while continuing to pursue the careers they love. Today, we're talking about motherhood, ambition, identity, creative careers, and why it's so important that mums don't feel like they have to choose between raising a family and chasing their dreams. Let's get into it. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Phoebe, Allegra. Hi, how are you?
Good.
Yeah,
Great. Just checking in. Good.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to do this if I want to have you introduce yourselves so everybody knows who you are and what you do or not. Because I said it, I'm going to stick with that. So,
yeah.
Phoebe, tell me a bit about yourself.
I'm Phoebe.
Hi, Phoebe.
I am an actor and co-founder of Mother Act with Allegra and a mum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's you. And how are you, Allegra?
Pretty much identical answer to Phoebe. I'm Allegra and actor, mother, newly mother, and we founded Mother Act a few months ago, January.
Yeah, January.
Okay. Oh my gosh, it is a few months ago. 'Cause it's pretty much the end of the year now.
Okay, well,
Depressing.
some would call it summer, but and that's been keeping us quite busy recently, which is nice.
No, it's amazing. Sorry, the whole thing with time is, I think the second I figure out what month I'm in, it's just, I'm always shocked as to how much time has gone past. And it's like, once you've planned the next month, it's like, well, okay, well then we're here now.
I know you see things in like blocks.
Yeah.
Blocks of 3 months, or like 4.
Yeah.
You can't really live by the day.
No.
You're more present than ever, but then you kind of have to look ahead as well.
Yeah.
And you can't imagine what 4 months will look like because
Yeah.
your child might be able to walk then and they can't walk. There's going to be so many new things in that time.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why to me it's like, pretty much at the end of the year now, because we're now in this month, which is July, but then my brain is already thinking about October.
Wow.
And I'm like, well, then December's just there. So, look, it's January. To me, it's just just wasting my life. I'm wishing my life away, which is so annoying.
Look, it's January. So good.
I can't even think about next week. I'm like day to day at the moment.
It's just stressful in my brain. But anyway, you both mentioned Mother Act. But before we get into that, what was life like before motherhood? What was life? Yeah, what was that like? Do it one thing at a time.
Very free. Free and easy. Do what you want when you want. A lot of books. No.
Oh yeah, reading
Yes.
uninterrupted. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to call
It
that
was
back. Yeah.
Yeah, books. What are they? No.
Books, what are they?
I actually have read quite a lot. Weirdly,
Have you?
Nice.
I don't know. What I found when you're breastfeeding, you can just
got
read
time.
a lot.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of stuff.
Did you? I couldn't
Yeah.
put anything in front of me.
Yeah. Okay. I'm now trying to read because a terrible friend of mine, hi Steph, recommended the Fourth Wing series, and I was like, I'm not going to read it until it's all done because I don't want to read something and then be waiting but then
Have
for
you
some
started
reason,
it?
yes, I panic bought them for some stupid reason. I didn't mean to shout at you there.
Well,
No,
I just
and
feel like that's the response when
Right?
you say, are you reading it? It's
yeah,
like, yes.
yeah, you should read it, but now I have to wait for the next two. And
So
it's
how
like
many are
casting.
there in you?
I
How
think they're
far through are
gonna.
you?
I'm on the third. I finished the third book.
Okay.
So the fact that I've been able to read stuff has been
That's incredible.
epic.
Yeah.
With my 3-year-old in my face.
I
plus
read
time.
such a gripping book the other day, and I couldn't put it down, and I felt like a really neglectful mother.
Yep, I have to do
Because
that
I was
too.
like, I'm sorry, I just honestly can't. I have to be
Yeah.
reading at all times.
Yeah.
And you can't read a gripping book.
While you're...
You just got because
No,
you
you
otherwise
can't.
you just feel like you just can't be.
That's how. That's
Do you know
literally
what I
feel.
think
Yeah,
though? That
it's such a nightmare.
There is no time for reading, but when I do read or consume any story, I am so invested so much more quickly.
Okay.
Than I think.
Really?
I'm dropped into the world.
Yeah.
I think maybe I'm just so ready to
Go.
transport
Sense
and
of
go.
time.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't know. So I find even if it's only a few pages,
Yeah.
I've
You're in there.
Gone, yeah.
How are you both with reading scripts now, or if you're auditioning, reading sides? How are you finding that?
Fine.
Fine.
I
Okay,
do
cool.
everything. I now I'm like, life before a baby was just procrastination. Like I had what was I wasting my time doing? Like line learning.
Yeah.
Now I'm like,
Quick.
I do have photographic memory.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally, it takes me seconds
Just to get it done. Again,
It's
time.
weird.
But stuff that I found really hard,
Suddenly
I can do it.
There we
I was
go.
just procrastinating before, maybe.
maybe. But just different parts of your brain maybe were just deciding to do other things, and you just had time, didn't you? You just had time. Now your time is just
I am weirdly
particular.
drawn to like very dark things. Like
Yeah,
I
fair.
want to
So I was
watch.
like, what are we talking about?
I want, just generally across the board. No, I want to like watch really gripping, like intense. And it used to be Notting Hill for me. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and now it's like I want the thriller. I want the thing. Like I was like, obsessively reading about the war and Holocaust and like, when I had her, it was very weird. It was like I had to picture things like more dramatic or something, or to get fully absorbed, it had to be so gripping. Because otherwise, I'd be like,
How interesting.
I know, it's weird.
Actually, I just reread The Secret History, which I hadn't read since I was like 18, and is like really horrible.
Yeah, very dark.
And I'd put down loads of frothy books, and then this, I was like, yes,
This is the thing. Yeah, see?
so maybe.
Need it.
Mental. Did you both want to be mums? Did you know you wanted to be mum?
Did you?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay.
I'm obsessed with kids.
Okay, fair.
And then
Same.
my nephews and nieces came along, and the love was like ludicrous levels. And it was like, how long is this? What time is a normal time? And also wanting to wait till the right moment, work-wise, and just feeling like you were at a place where you might be able to step away for a minute and then come back.
Yeah.
Not that either of us ended up doing that, but
I get it.
But yes, since
you
tiny,
were-
I think
yeah.
I've just always loved babies. And
How about you, Phoebe?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did, but I think I didn't know whether I'd never felt particularly maternal.
Got you.
Maybe.
Okay.
But I always sort of, I wanted to have a family and have children.
Yeah.
And actually, nieces and nephews make me.
God.
Yeah. That's like the
What
gateway.
about you? Did
the
you?
gateway. I think I always knew I would be, in the sense of, it'll happen. I never knew when. And it was just expected. I think the older I got and dated people, I was like, if I don't find the right person to do this with, I'm very happy not to. Because I kind of figured with what I saw it to be and how I wanted to parent, and I knew I was going to be so intentional, it was like, it has to be with the right person. And if it isn't, I'm fine with that.
Wow.
And then also understanding what work is like, and when do you step away, when do you not, what does that look like? And then bringing a kid into this world. And I kind of really saw that my child would be a part of all of this. So it was just understanding, okay, if I'm going to be in entertainment and what it's like with the pressures with that or whatever else, how would I be navigating that with motherhood? So I became very, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, that's fine. And then I met the right person, and then it all kind of made sense.
Were you looking around at other people that you were working with that were mums and like scoping out how they were doing it and stuff?
Do you know what? No, not at all. But then purely because I think I hadn't met the person that really made me go, okay, I could actually see this happening.
Yeah, right.
But when I did, I remember, shout out to you, Lulu. I'm shouting out everyone now. But she's a makeup artist, Lulu Hinton. And I was talking to her about how is she managing having a child. I think at the time her son was 3. And she was just like, just do it. Like, but that's also Lulu. Like, just do it. Just go for it. Because all they need is love and a present mum. And everything else figures itself out. And I was like, okay, interesting. My mum has been waiting for her grandkids since I was like 18. So there's also that. And she didn't care who it was with, just make the baby. And I was like, great, that's just not helpful at all. So once I kind of had that in my head, and I was like, okay, well, this seems to be the right person, and I guess this is the right time. Let's go for it. Although we're like, should we have had a kid over lockdown? That might have been smarter. Just lockdown, different time.
no, but then you had all the pitfalls of being alone in a lockdown.
Right?
With So
again, but that was kind of where my head was. I knew it'd happen, but like the when and stuff.
I think it's really interesting what you say about bringing them along with you in this career, because I think that on Mother Act, that's a lot of people's perception before of like, they can just be in the dressing room and no, they'll just be on set, they'll just be in my trailer, kids can just go anywhere. And
However.
I definitely had that. It was like, they'll just come along and actually slightly at this stage for me the reality has been a set isn't really an environment for a child. And it was interesting. The first job I did when I went back after having my baby, she was about 6-7 weeks old. And one of the actors on the hair and makeup chair just turned to me and she goes, I hear you've got a baby here. And I was like, yeah, we got my baby. And she was like, it's not really a place for them, is it? And I know that sounds shocking, but it was true. Like you're in a concrete, jungle of just like caravan after caravan after caravan after caravan. It was a heat wave, of course it was. So it was like boiling hot. You can't keep the trailer warm. You can't keep the trailer cold. There's no way to walk. There's nowhere to push you are in people's way. You're getting tangled up in wires and this was meant to be a really, really child-friendly place, this particular job.
Okay.
Because there are lots of babies on this job.
Okay.
But I did sort of think, this is a workplace. Like, it's a hard dynamic, isn't it?
So interesting.
And yes, you can have them in the dressing room, but you're also trying to get ready for like, kind of an important performance, depending on your role or whatever. I do think that's an interesting line. I think people think, oh, this is going to be so much more easy. We've had people on our group who are like going back to work in a rehearsal room with a 2-week-old and then going on a world tour or something. And it's like,
There's challenges
it's a
that
funny dynamic.
You could never anticipate.
Yeah,
as well.
and you think like before you have them, they'll just be there.
Yeah,
and then you
I
realize
get that.
they're actually a full person. Even though they're tiny or whatever. It's
have
an
you had to
interesting
take
one.
your little one on set?
Yeah, I have.
And how was that for you?
Similarly, like I think I just thought they'd come along with me.
Yeah.
And I think I maybe just more generally, I thought babies were a lot more like portable and like I can control, like the absolute stereotype. I feel like everything I say now about being a parent is like either a platitude or like the most typical thing ever. But I think I just thought, maybe my mum will be there and they'll be in the trailer and they'll just stay in that locked room all day and I'll pop back at some point. And then the reality is
That's what I mean, like the locked
they're
room.
clawing at the walls by the time you get back because they've just been in like a tiny space. So I think there were challenges that I hadn't anticipated.
Yeah.
But I just did my first job when my baby didn't come with me, and I went away to do it, and which has its own challenges, right? And it's like, that's a whole new thing to navigate because it's always just changing the whole time. Yeah. But like selfishly, that felt amazing in one way, and I was like, I'm going away for a few days, to do my job like I used to. Yeah, and I was like, I'm going to get a full night's sleep before I get up at 5 a.m. I was like, that's a luxury. That like I've done days where I've had 2 hours sleep and then gone in. You still do it, right? But
that's so interesting. Like my experience of it, and it's so nice hearing just that different perspective or experience where the other actress said to you, "This is not a space for it." It's like. My experience so far, and Zena's been on set a few times. Her dad is also a musician and a singer, so she's been on stage and stuff a few times. And I think, do you know what? I think because it's like, she's going to be there. I think that's just what that's what it is. So then that's what the scenario is. So far, everything has been quite okay. Everyone's made space for that. They've worked around that. And I think maybe because the whole team has had that as a thinking, they've made that work. And if I've had to have a chaperone with us, they've just adjusted. Maybe I haven't thought a lot about it because I was just like, this is just what it's going to be. So it never felt like.
But isn't it interesting that we think that where like someone we're going to a bank would never even think, obviously she's going to be there. Do you know what I mean? Like, why are we?
Because we're special.
We're special. And obviously the job is weird.
I know.
Like, you find out where you're going to be the night before. You find out what time you're going to get picked up at midnight the night before. But it is also quite weird that we're like,
nobody else
does bring our kids to work. It's
true.
We actually have got work to do as well. Like if we're lucky enough to get some work,
It's so true.
It is a funny dynamic, and at times you don't know if you're being unprofessional. By saying, hi, can I have a fridge in my trailer to store my breast milk? At the beginning, I was like, is that bringing my personal life to work? And is that on me to be responsible? And then obviously you realise, and then through starting Mother Act, you realise, of course we need a fridge in our trailer, and you need a break to breastfeed. But I remember the first time I was feeling so guilty. I was like, I shouldn't be asking for something that's about my home at work.
In your workspace.
I should be able to come in, do my job, bring a suitcase of stuff that I need.
Yes, I need to be Mary Poppins, pulling out the fridge and pulling out the thing.
No, that's a really good perspective in terms of like the worries or the things that you had as concerns, because there may be other, I'm sure there are others who have those same thoughts. For sure.
And
that's really great.
And it's also kind of going, like, you would be amazed at the tips and tricks. On our Mother Act group, we've got a tips and tricks section, and it's like the tips and tricks are so niche. It's like it's like so sterilizing bags and storage containers, and which is the best, you know. But and we go through all of those loops, so that then if we are asking production for something, it's because we actually really need it. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're not being like, we need this, we need AVR water, we need to like.
There's an actual point,
but it feels like you're being the biggest diva ever if you're asking for something, because we've never had to ask for anything before.
That's interesting.
Or you know, saying how might the schedule work? Do you have any idea? And that feels like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I've just, you know, but actually it's fair enough to ask for that, and
for sure.
people are probably asking for loads more, but just because you've become a motherhood, you've stepped into new a mother, not motherhood, you've stepped into new shoes. You feel like, whoa, why do I suddenly need stuff? And you feel guilty, but actually of course you shouldn't.
Really, really interesting hearing that, because I'd never considered that. It was just, this is what I'm gonna do. And also, do you know what? I think the biggest surprise and blessing was more how understanding production was, especially when Zena was super young, that they were able to accommodate when they could. And if they couldn't, they would always say. But I just always knew that I would do X, Y, and Z, because this is the career that I'm deciding to take. And also, I've decided to have a kid, so I will always take care of what I need to. So when they added stuff in, that was a benefit. But
that's such a healthy approach.
Right? But that's also really what you've just said. The other side of it, like thinking about, can I ask? Should I ask? I never thought of that, but there are so many other people who might sit in that space, so they never ask, which means they never know what help is there to them.
Like, what you're saying sounds like a really healthy approach to it that comes from who you are as a person. Whereas, like, I am a bag of anxiety, ball of anxiety. A bag and a ball of anxiety.
Bag and ball.
And have always, like, I'm like, oh, better not let anyone know this, or better not, I must be the quietest person in the room. And then I very quickly realised, like, that is so unhelpful to everyone. If you're basically, I didn't do this, but I'm like, maybe I could just bring my baby and
nobody would know. They won't see them.
They'll never see them. I'll just have them under the table. And,
you
know, and that causes problems rather than being direct, like you obviously are able to be. And
one of the biggest realizations we've had from this whole thing is fear. Like, you seem so confident, but like, the fear is wild of what can I ask for, what can't I ask for, will I get fired if I ask for this, or if I tell anyone this, and that you can't live with that in your professional life. Like, if we can do anything to debunk the fear just by having a group where people can go, oh yeah, I've been there, done that, I asked for that, they were fine,
or this doesn't cost them any money to do, this might cost a bit of time, but not, you know, so you understand.
Just knowing someone else has asked for the same thing at once makes you feel better, and you're not like some, you know, you're alone. And
no, it's so true.
But there is a lot of fear because we're kept in glass. What is it? Glass castles or glass cages?
The trailer is like a very isolated place if you're freaking out.
And it's hard to link to, like, what's actually the director thinking? What's the producer thinking? What's the casting thinking? And actually, if we bring us all together and try and have more of a conversation,
that's it.
You're going to go, oh, actually, I didn't need to be afraid of that.
That's the thing. Communication and conversation. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Thinking about all things acting, as we've just been talking about, what did success look like to you before you became a mum?
Go on, Phoebe.
Wow.
Looks like I've got to think about that one.
I don't know, actually, because I think I tried really hard to not see it as a line in the sand ever, of like, when I get to this point,
then
I'll say that's successful. And now the same, maybe, I don't know. I think I felt like, this is probably why I'm not that successful. No, as I said, that was like,
I instantly disagree with that.
I think I felt successful just by like signing with an agent, or like from day one. I felt like, or doing like local theatre, and everything felt like a big success. I grew up thinking like being an actor was never really a possibility, or it seemed like so far away that everything seemed like success. So maybe, I don't know.
No, I get that.
It's I've just always been like, this is a wild ride and it's amazing.
Yeah,
happy to be on it, kind of thing.
That kind of thing, and
100%.
each different thing is a different milestone, or that's the success. And then if you book the other thing or you have the other job, that's a success. I guess it moves with each one. Maybe
such a lovely way of seeing it.
And then since having it, we'll get to that maybe.
No, what?
Well, just since having a baby, success is it's success for the family unit. As well as my own. It's more of a
Love that.
Yeah, okay.
I think success is a really interesting question in our whole job because it's so public. People can see when you're doing well, and they can see when you're not, in inverted commas, because you aren't working. And it's very, in no other job really can you see if someone's, I can't see if my brother's out on a 2-hour lunch break and not doing anything that day and playing golf, whatever. But
So I'm laughing because you mentioned your brother. I said, brother,
listen, you better be bloody listening. No, and
shout out to Allegra.
Anyway, but it's very, and so you're quite aware of what other people are thinking. Or I found at the beginning of my career, like, what are people thinking I've done well, or do any other actors think I might be a success, or does that job make me look like I might be? And then I remember really clearly, I was about 7 years out of drama school, and I was auditioning for this part that I wanted so badly. And it took about 3-4 months, the audition process, and at the end, I didn't get it.
Okay.
Saw my phone, threw it to the floor, and was like, I went on a massive walk, and I was like, it changes now. This is a reframe of how I see success, because this is going to happen. It cannot be that success is based on the parts I get or don't get. It has to be based on whether I'm being creative and whether I'm fulfilled. Like, it just has to be. And then, and I had been doing a theatre company for a while, and so straight away I was like, right, I'm putting on a play with them again. Like, that's it. I'm making this happen. I'm going to cast. And of course, by doing that, people came to that show that then got, most of the actors in the play, their next job, including me. And it spirals in a different way because you've redirected.
Yeah, understood.
And I just, from then on, it became, am I fulfilled? And then since motherhood, that's hard because you're so fulfilled by being a mum. Or I just love being with her. But then you're still really wanting this career and nothing changes there. So it's kind of, but you might not have the energy in the same way to go and put on a play with your theatre, or to go and get a group of friends together. So it's finding little other holes and pockets to be, your version of success in. And that is hard. That's a journey, I think. I'm interested to see where it goes.
Yeah, no, for sure.
A little thought to add was that I feel like when I came out of drama school, I remember someone saying something about, like, if you've not got to this point by 27, there was that, it was always peddled around, right? Like, if you haven't landed a pilot or an American show by the time you're 27, that's it, or some, whatever. And I just always remember, I at like 23, I had this like 27 thing in my head, which is so mad in hindsight. But then beyond 27, I now feel like there's so much time in a way that I didn't then, because I'm now like, oh, well.
You're past it, so.
I'm past it.
It's all good.
I'm past it. I'm an invisible woman in my 30s.
You're a geriatric, so don't worry about it.
I shall continue to be so.
You're lucky to even be here, Phoebe. So.
But for some reason, like, time and what I need to achieve in any given time feels like there's a bit less of a rush.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's so
that's
true.
really cool.
I'm big on not rushing.
I love
anymore.
that. Yeah, I'm a bit rushy at the moment.
I used to be very rushy, and the instinct is there.
And
there's you can move quickly, but there's no rush.
Got you.
That's I need more of that.
And I feel like that when I had a baby, and I felt like I had to be back at work.
Okay.
Just to like keep going.
Yeah.
There's not going to be a gap in my CV.
Got you.
And now I'm like, but there wasn't. 12 months is
not a long time.
Less of a rush than I thought it was at the time, maybe.
Yeah.
See, I feel like out of those first 12 months, which we both quite newly are, I'm like, let's go. Like, come on. Like, I'm really wanting to be doing it. So I'm like, where is it? And that's annoying. And I'd like to take a bit of a leaf out of your book.
Okay. And chill out a bit.
I probably don't do it. I'm just saying it.
But that's the thing.
Internally.
No, but even like just talking about success like that, I guess has ambition changed for you compared to what you were like pre-motherhood versus now?
I don't think it has for me.
Okay.
Really. No.
Well, obviously, we had this new mission to support
Yeah.
mothers going back to work. But the best feeling was, I remember the first job I got once I'd had my baby was the feeling I felt when I got the job was exactly the same as before. And that was refreshing. And it was a relief because I was like, oh, I love it as much. I was worried having a baby, I wouldn't love it as much.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I want it and love it as much. That's the best feeling.
Yeah.
And now I've just got to work out how to do both these things at once.
Okay.
And that's been really nice.
I think it changes the precision with which your ambition exists.
Nice. That's a great way
I
to
think.
put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a lot more focused on what. Yeah.
What you want?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like
How you choose things,
how I
maybe?
choose things
Yeah.
and what feels important to me. I say that like
All the
I'm-
choices we're making
or,
every day.
you know, every 20
Turning them
scripts that drop
down.
into my inbox daily. I don't know about you guys, but no, I don't mean like what I'm choosing to do, but as in you are looking at things and going, well, is this what I want to be doing? What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, or
I
just
like-
the way
I
I,
like
think
that.
maybe how
Be more
I think
intentional.
about
Yeah.
goals and stuff is a little bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What's something that motherhood gave you that made you a better actor?
So much I feel like.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic idea being a mum as an actor, I think.
I
'Cause
think so.
immediately blocks that I used to have in getting somewhere in a scene or whatever, gone.
Got you.
Gone.
Got you,
Don't
got you.
even, like, you're just straight in.
Nice.
I find
Yeah.
the cavern of emotional depth.
Yeah,
That's
huge
not
for me too.
intimidating anymore. Whereas at drama school, that was intimidating to me because I was like, I haven't felt what she felt in the doll's house, you know.
Yeah.
And now it's like, yeah, I felt it all. Let's go.
I felt everything. There's nothing I cannot do. I hear you.
Yeah. Also, I just don't give a shit
Yeah, that too.
about
Yes.
anything
Yeah.
anymore. Like,
Less vain,
and I
yeah.
still, like I say, I'm still a ball of nerves about stuff, and
Yeah.
I'm very socially anxious around people, but
Really? Gosh, don't come across that.
masking desperately. But
I'm a very good actor.
but let me in a room and to do an audition. Yes, please. Like,
Yeah,
there's none of that
yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm judging myself so much anymore.
Got you.
Come as you are kind of vibe.
Also, because
Yeah.
I have being on set is like party time now.
I get you.
I am
the best
I'm like,
thing
what do you mean?
ever.
Like, it would get to 5 p.m. and I'd be like, I'm tired.
No, it's
A day at
heaven.
work is so easy. It's like a day off.
Yeah. I was
Give me
dreading
a job.
the
It's
longest
true.
day
Yeah.
on
No,
set.
it's so true.
I was dreading my
Yeah.
first night shoot, and I remember like, I can't be away from her. It was when she was really small.
know,
I
it's
can't. What am I going to do?
adjusting.
I'm going to miss bedtime. I'm going to have failed her for life and scarred her forever. And that night, oh god, the pasta bowls came round at 11 o'clock. I was like, let's go, ladies! It was so good.
I can do it. There's more in me.
Yeah.
I'm having a coffee. I'm gonna have a wee, guys. 10-1.
No one's coming into the loo with me.
Oh my goodness. And then I guess the flip side of that, what about acting has made you a better mum? Or
Yeah,
better as a
yeah.
mum?
That's lovely.
I feel like I'm really loud amongst when I'm in groups of other mums, and maybe it's just obnoxious, but
I
like
think-
very like
Yeah.
I'm not ever telling him to like quieten down.
No,
I'm like,
no.
yeah, let's be lions and
Yeah.
roar
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
or like
More-
But
Yeah,
that's
okay.
not new to us. I
No.
I notice in like mum baby groups and stuff, people are sort of like, oh God, I sit on the floor, do I? Goodness.
Yeah.
And
Ah,
they're
got
going,
you.
you want me to roll around and sing? And I'm just,
You're like,
that's obviously
my
like,
day, that's my
literally
everyday.
what we're trained to do, to roll around and sing. So that is, and yeah, I found that with just kids in general, nephews and nieces, like just the
Yeah.
singing and the music and
Playtime, just
the
playing.
whatever that stuff is just innate,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
How
we
do
get that
you
for free.
feel like that with having
Yeah.
a partner that's a musician as
Oh my
well?
God, I bet you guys are amazing.
What's your question again?
Well, just like,
Mum brain.
do you both does it feel like you're both better parents for having that
I have to definitely echo you in regards to like the playtime and imagination side of it. It is so fun watching her come up with her ideas from all of these places that I never would have thought, and that this can be a car or that can be a spaceship. She's really into like pirates right now. And pirates, princess, if she wears a dress, she's a princess. It's fine. And dancing. and currently singing. It's a toss up between Elton John and who did she call me the other day, which nearly broke my heart? Rick James. I changed my hair, put my hair in braids, and she was like, Mama, you look like, give it to me. And I was like, oh, it's Rick James. Google Rick James. Everybody knows this. I put on Instagram. I was
Give
like,
it to me.
I look like a man with a mustache. That's okay. So just like where her imagination and stuff comes from is nuts. So it's so refreshing to see. And the same with my partner, he's someone who's very active. So he's forever rolling around and doing jujitsu or climbing, whatever else. So we get to have that as the everyday. So that I think has helped free me so much more acting wise in a way that I didn't think I needed. And then what has motherhood brought into acting for me? I think loads, again, the emotional depth thing for sure. And then the freeness of I don't care at the same time as well. I'm so unconcerned with what anyone else is doing. I really don't care. If that works for the director, fantastic. If it doesn't, we go again, whatever. So I have less of a hang up about anything. Like just
I heard one of the casting directors on your podcast saying like, you know, if you are late to go and pick up your child from nursery, use that when you're doing the tape. Use that kind of outside energy. Yeah. And I love that idea. I think that's really... You kind of start getting that for free because you do actually have 10 minutes before they wake up from their nap if they go down for the nap.
It's so true.
And that is very useful.
Yeah. I had my baby screaming in the back of a tape a few weeks ago because he woke up from his nap. And it was in the scene that there was a baby crying. I was like, babe,
part of it.
Go wild.
Yeah. The amount of times Zena has been in a scene that was not, but she's in it. Sometimes, depending on how like fun I'm feeling, I might put it in like my what's the word again? Oh my gosh, my ident.
Oh yeah,
yeah. This is happening, guys. So let's go, and then we just figure it out. Cool. Sometimes not. Sometimes there's noise in the background, and it's kind of like that's also life. That's just what it is. So I kind of let that be whatever it's going to be. Like I said, like just
work from
home. Just it is that, and it's life, and it's real, and this is all meant to be real. So let's just do it. We've talked loads and loads about acting, but I guess if we can officially explain and understand what the Motherhood Act is, how did that come about? Why was it created?
Yes,
tell me everything.
So, well, maybe we should say how we met, and then
okay.
If that's
how'd you meet?
Well, I actually saw Phoebe in a play at Edinburgh when I was probably 17, 18.
I was like 19. I was at uni.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God, she's phenomenal.
She's amazing.
Oh my gosh. And then cut to a few months later, I turn up at drama school and Phoebe's on the master's course. And I was like, oh, it's the goddess. Again, she's following me.
You've got a very different memory.
I was like,
performance than I did.
It's so good in this performance. Seriously.
Brilliant.
And then over the next, like, however many years, I kind of saw Phoebe like popping up and being like, wow, she's doing so well.
We didn't speak. We didn't speak, but as in
just ignored each other.
As in we'd met that one time, or then at drama school we didn't really see each other
a bit, and then
we didn't speak.
I saw a picture of
10 years.
I saw a picture of Phoebe looking so glamorous at a premiere.
Oh, love it.
Pregnant as hell.
Hey.
And I was like, that's exactly what my bump looks like. And I said, you look 33 weeks pregnant. Are you? And she was like, yes, I am 33 weeks pregnant. And I was like, let's get a coffee, because I didn't know any other actors who were pregnant.
Okay.
I think I knew one who had a baby, and that was it. And so we had this nice coffee. We kind of jokingly said,
it would be nice to have an actor's NCT.
Yeah, like we were in NCT class at the time, and we were like, we need an actor's one, because this is a whole other kettle of fish for us.
Sick, okay.
And then about a year later, we didn't speak. We kind of just carried on, and then we were like, we need that group.
Yeah, we're 10 months in, and we need that group.
Oh,
and we'd both gone back to work.
Yeah,
quite quickly, and done jobs. And I feel like this is an experience that we're hearing loads, is people who are pregnant, they have a baby, they go back to work quite quickly, thinking like, I'll just carry on as is, and then they do one job and go, there was loads that was unexpected. It was it was amazing maybe, but also loads of challenges I didn't necessarily expect. Who can I talk to about it? We both had the experience that we went back to work and we wanted to be able to talk to people while we were on that job and getting ready for that job, to just be like, what do I need?
Got you.
What will I what will I not have thought to ask for that will make everyone on set's life easier as well as mine and my baby's life easier?
And honestly, those things are so niche.
Yeah.
Like how to make pumping quicker when you're breastfeeding, like literally niche things that you wouldn't think of needing, but actually when your director says, okay, you need to go and feed her within 10 minutes, you really need that advice.
So we said, let's start out by just setting up a community, like a WhatsApp group for women for mothers to join.
And then it popped off.
And then so we added
we were like, we've got 8 members.
8 people.
Let's go.
Before that, I remember you being like, do you think will it just be us and one other person? And I was like, well, then that's fine if it is. And then,
so useful.
And then it's going from there. So I am also in this group. And it's amazing to see the sense of support and community that's there, the questions that are popping up, the amount of, again, everyone's sort of sharing from their experiences, what they did. This is the tips that they worked with or whatever else. And it's amazing seeing how useful it is to other people, and then people actually really putting that into practice and then coming back and saying, okay, I did this and this, and it was great.
So nice.
Really, really amazing to see.
Yeah.
Like I was really happy to see Steph in there, Steph Parry, just because of her story, what it was like booking the job, having a kid, world tour, blah, 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 and navigating that whole
China.
thing. Yeah, having that whole thing. Different country, different language, different ways of being in terms of motherhood and having a child and working. So she had to navigate all of that. And whatever the challenges were and the positives, she has been able to share that with a whole heap and wealth of people if they ever needed it. So it's great sort of seeing that happen in real time in the group. And I absolutely hate our WhatsApp groups. The fact that I'm in yours is a big
I know. I'm hoping that it is a sort of palatable one, even though there is quite a lot of chat coming up. But I think because it's such a shared interest, it's like, even if that doesn't apply to you, whatever's being discussed that day, you're kind of like, oh, that's so interesting that they had that on set. Hopefully it's interesting. And it also can be stored when it does apply to you.
Yeah. And I think it's really important that we have people who are at all different stages of conception journeys on there, because there are people who are pregnant, who've been pregnant in the group and then had their babies and gone on to a first job, or, like,
trying to become pregnant.
Pregnant, all of that shared stuff is amazing, because something we talked about earlier is that part of it is it's all changing all the time, right? Like what you are experiencing at work is so totally different to what I'm experiencing and what I was experiencing when my baby was
6 months ago.
3 months. Yeah, exactly. So you're constantly needing to find people who have had a similar experience, and also who are it also so depends on what type of job you're doing and what kind of, are you coming in as a day player, is it stage, is it screen, are you coming in at the top of the call sheet, is it going to be really heavy in terms of the days and hours, or quite light, and it all has its own challenges. So you're never gonna, just from a friendship group, never.
And I think going back to work, any mother going back to work in any profession is quite daunting, and you probably can feel quite lonely, but there's usually a path of, the person one step ahead of me, she took her maternity leave and she came back after however long, and there's a trodden path, whereas with us there is no path.
There's no path.
And you've got Olivia Colman, who was back filming 3 days after giving birth, and then there's someone who took 5 years out, and both are completely valuable, but you somehow need to feel supported in it, because there's no HR. God knows.
Exactly. It really is just you going,
and
that feels right. Or, okay.
Did you know lots of people with...
So I think I knew loads of people who had kids more from a music background, space. Actors. I didn't know any actor dads who had kids, or actor mums, actresses who had kids. No one that I could, like, no one in my immediate circle. Everyone felt more musician based. I think that's fair to say. So I just knew, again, we're having a kid. Okay, sure. I'd go back to work whenever the next job came in. So I think my first job was a voiceover job, which was great, and I could do it at home, which was great. But Zena was very young. I think maybe she was under 2 months. I don't know if I'm lying or not. Something like that.
No, same as me.
Right? And then it was like, okay, cool. I will just navigate how it is, because I'm making this up how I go along, and so it's going to be what I decide it's going to be.
Voice work is so good for that.
Right? Love it.
So good, and they're so accommodating.
Yeah, which is fab.
Yeah.
So I just knew that this is going to be whatever I create. So what do I want? Which is kind of the outlook that I had. But then the jobs change. I'm on a commercial. Okay, now I'm on set for a TV show, blah, blah. Then it's like, okay, there are more moving parts to this. If I need to pay for X, Y, and Z, I will. If they're not going to be accommodating for this, then we figure that out. My agent is phenomenal. He will always fight my corner, and he will never not ask for anything for me, or make sure what do you need? Have you thought about X, Y, and Z? So I think I've landed on my feet quite well, where I think I have a good team of people around me. But it was just, okay, well, what do you want? This is it. Okay, well, then how do we get it? Is it impossible? Maybe, but we have to figure that out.
Yeah.
So I think I've always had that energy.
It's really fun that it's literally job to job. It's like, cool, what will the next job need? What will the next job need? And some jobs, you do need to have them living in the village where you're filming. And some jobs, they need to stay at home and stay with their caregivers or whatever. On my last job, she was in it. I just got her cast in it, and because I had a baby in it, and that was so great. But also, it again, like quite a weird experience, like going to work and then your child also being at work there, and you're like, I just want to go to a goddamn fitting, like just let me go have my makeup by myself, leave me alone. But then the joy of like having this lasting memory, and that was that job, and then you never know what the next one will be. So you've got to remain on your toes, and that's so fun. But it can also obviously kick up a whole lot of chaos.
I'm like, don't care about the chaos. I don't have to do it.
Yeah, embrace the chaos.
Have to do it, but it's like, embrace the chaos. And this is the problem. Oh, how do we figure it out?
Completely.
Let's get the solution. Because you can get caught up in the, no. Sure, but that's just a waste of time.
And we're in a really privileged position to be able to say that, to like be able to afford childcare and like you consider those options and have family supporting us. And there are lots of people who do not have those options. And so that really is genuine chaos. Like it's not fun that. But
also it means that as an industry, we're losing a huge amount of mothers,
people who are about to get a whole lot better at their job.
Who are incredible. Yeah, exactly. Who've got this huge new experience and who are just incredible actors, right? Who just cannot afford to do it,
especially with theatre. Like you end up paying to do a play, because by the time you've got them in nursery or whatever they need to do, you've paid them to do the show,
and that's
which is interesting. But if we can just support people going, I'm going to lose a lot of money doing this next job, but I really care about it, or I've just said no to the job of my dreams because I can't afford it. That's all coming up on Mother Act, and that's painful. Like I couldn't bear to part with a play that I'd been longing to do, for example, but sometimes you have to,
or a whole career, you know, like people are dropping out of the industry because of it.
And even though we're talking about actors and actresses, etc., I am fully aware it's part of the crew. It's across the whole space,
completely,
because we're not the only ones who are navigating the space. So whenever I hear a job or I've been in a space where they have considered what does it mean for the whole team to have to figure out childcare, what can we do we need to put a question place, or do you need to figure out how to job share, whatever else, that's been phenomenal. So it's great to see those types of conversations happening.
The job sharing thing is exciting. It's really exciting.
That's coming up for sure,
and it goes across the board with caring responsibilities as well. You know, like I feel becoming a mother has really made me realise how privileged I've been to move, to be in an industry and to work in an industry for 10 years or so and be able to just go and work without having a caring responsibility. And there's so many people across every part of our industry with caring responsibilities who this is, it's about, we're only talking about mums because it's such a huge thing. And mothers and actors, we were
oh my gosh,
we can only it's a vast thing.
But we are trying to bring in all areas. Like we're having these really interesting panel discussions with producers, casting directors, agents, because we all need to be on the same conversation. We need to help them and they need to help us. And that's the only way that actually change might happen, is if we're all in on it.
And I love that you said that, because I was going to ask you, what was like the one thing you'd ask them to change, like looking at things from a casting director space or a producer, commissioner, if they listen to this episode today, what would be the thing that you'd ask them to change?
I mean, they're doing bloody well, aren't they? But I actually don't know.
Well, I think one of the things is all of this is so not binary. Like there is no one way of solving it. It's all job to job and case by case. And, you know, we're speaking to people who are going all the way from having like the most incredible experience to like really awful experiences and everything in between. And there isn't necessarily, and from talking to producers and people in casting, there's no simple answer to all of this.
Yeah.
And we feel like part of seeing the conversations happen, we've realised like what we can do is support people.
Got you.
And help with communication and conversation, like you were saying earlier. And I mean, for me, I think the biggest thing for me is communication and going, the question, someone asking you, okay, is there anything that you need to make this job more manageable for you? Let me know what that is. I can't promise to be able to do that, but you asking me isn't going to cost you your job or isn't going to make you make us look difficult. Because if that's been said and made clear, it's really easy for everyone's communication, right? Because you feel like you can
ask, you can say,
and they've just said it will not. Because people are so scared of
losing their job, or just becoming
and
that
lots
person.
of actors have been sacked for being pregnant or admitting that, and so there is a genuine fear of it.
When actually, like, you know, I'm happy for someone to say no, I can't do that. But if I felt comfortable enough to go, actually, do you know what? If the start time on this voice job was half an hour later, it would mean I can go and do nursery drop off, so I don't have to pay for wraparound childcare, and I'm still going to make money from the job. But if that's not doable, I'll still do the job.
Great
Fine.
point. Yeah. And I think, yes, it's almost seeing parenting and motherhood as an access. Those are access requirements needed within that, as you would provide access requirements to anybody else who needed them. Sort of including motherhood in that, I suppose, and being like, cool, we've got a new mum. What do we need to provide? Just in the same way that if you had someone with a disability or whatever, you would provide. Maybe just,
No, I understand.
A more open-minded outlook to access requirements and to getting the best people up and running for the job.
Do you think we need to see more mums behind the camera, in front of the camera, for things like this to be more every day, if that makes sense? Which is a bit of a weird thing to say because there are mums everywhere. But I guess if it's just known, because I know that there's definitely still a feeling where some people will kind of hide or talk less about that side of their life. Yes, it's personal, so that's also fine, but I think you don't want to be seen as less than, or you can't, or you're not capable, so people may not talk about certain parts of their lives that way.
I think I've spoken to a few directors that are like, it is really hard to be a director and a mother to young children because, well, for all the reasons, but also you start way before the actors start. We just rock up and everything's done for us. They're like started their days earlier. They started prep 3 months earlier or whatever. It's a whole other thing, and I really do think they do push mothers out in that field, and that's tricky. However, I have worked with mums to small children as directors, and they've been so cool and amazing, and they're behind the camera with breast pumps and like they're just the coolest people. And so absolutely just like celebrating that and encouraging it and going to them, oh, what do you need? We need
the last job I did, the director had a 19-month-old maybe, and on my first day she was like, oh, how are you, and where's your baby, and like how are you doing? I was like, how are you doing? You've been on this for weeks. Like unbelievable. And I wanted to be like, I need to sit down and
have a chat with you. How are you doing it all? No, it makes sense. With everything that you've encountered thus far, stepping into motherhood, creating the Mother Act and how it's going, we obviously have the Mother Act Film Festival. Have I got that correct? Yes. Tell me a bit about that.
Yeah, we've just announced our film festival, which is very exciting. It's going to be at BFI in November.
Amazing.
And it is open to all mothers who have written, produced or directed a film, a short film.
Amazing.
And people on any stage of their conception journey.
Got you.
Yeah, and any stage of parenthood.
Nice.
And just celebrating the massive achievement that it does to even like get a film being made full stop, let alone being a mum, or let alone to find childcaring. You know, that's so cool. And just I can't wait to just have an evening of like, or whatever an event for just that.
And just see that there.
So hopefully lots of cool films.
And hopefully it will really, I think we've talked a lot about collaboration, and I know I felt in the first, probably like the first, I still feel like this, let's be honest, like I felt creative in one sense. Like I remember sort of breastfeeding and feeling like I've got all these ideas for things, like where's my pen and paper, but no energy to do anything with it or even write it down. And a friend of mine also was like, well, I've sort of like, she started writing a short film when she was pregnant, but not quite finished it. And so she was talking to me about that. And I was suddenly like, if both of us work on this really slowly, knowing that both of us have very little capacity, it might like move it slowly. And the idea that if you get a load of these brains together, we'll be able to help each other and start sharing work and helping each other out in that time in life when it's a bit harder to
do it on your own.
To do it, to get something off the ground on your own.
So
maybe.
we're wanting to do like script labs where people can come together, share ideas and go, oh, I've had a similar idea. Let's put our heads together and let's collaborate.
I'll never get this done if I'm trying to do it by myself. So will you help?
Yeah, workshop ideas, do script readings, have movement workshops, boosting confidence before you go back to work if you have been out for a while.
And start developing some stuff that way.
Yeah.
Ladies,
definitely.
You've got some stuff to do, guys.
I know.
We do.
There is so much. I know.
You got things to do. No, but no. But like, if there was one thing you could say to, you guys are obviously further along in your motherhood journey so far. So it's like, if there's one thing you can say to someone who is newly entering into motherhood, who is an actor, thinking about work, what that could possibly look like in the future, what would you say to them?
I'd say there are going to be times where you think, I'm never going back to work. And times where you're like, I am desperate to get back to work. And everything in between of that. And like, see that as a journey and see that as a flow and see that as actually quite useful as a creative tool to lead you on to make something or to really do something with it. And I'm very much on that journey. So but I think I might learn something from this.
Nice.
And as you said before, there is no rush, even though you feel you might be in a rush. Or the ticking time.
I think it's hard to hear that because I feel like I was maybe told that. Yeah. And I was like,
open to receive.
I'm going to carry on. Yeah. Maybe.
But also,
there is no rush.
You're so doing the right thing by having a baby and you're never going to regret it ever. So
that's right.
It needs to be and will be an industry that celebrates that.
Yeah. I remember when I was thinking about having a baby, I was on a job with two actresses who both had teenage children.
Yeah. Okay.
And talking to them about it. And they were both like, oh, just do it. Yeah, try. And I was going, but, I'm thinking about when's the right time. And they both sort of went, but there is no right time. And one of them said, oh, well, I actually quite wish I'd started trying a bit sooner because actually, and just their experiences. But the main take would be like, there's never the right time. Do it. Your career will be fine, blah, blah. And I remember at the time thinking, it totally changed my perspective on it. But at the time I remember thinking, oh, they mean that my career will still be the same. Nothing will change.
Got you.
And now, having had a baby, I feel like what they were saying was you kind of won't care. That everything changes so much that now I would go, there is no right time because it all changes so much.
Yeah.
So
I understand.
Yeah. I don't know what my advice there is, but it was advice that I thought was very helpful.
I think doing those jobs is so important. I did a job when I was very pregnant and they hid the bump, which by the way is totally possible to any actor who's pregnant and scared they can't hide. And the DOP didn't even know I was pregnant. Like we're in that level. But it was so many women and so many of them happened to have kids and they were just so encouraging. And it was like, oh, I can totally do this. This is easy. What am I worried about? And those are the moments you need that.
And then you have a baby and you're like, what were they saying? What did
they
lie
to me? They lied. Always the way.
How?
Annoyingly, I have to say to wrap up because I also don't want to wrap up because I feel like we just
could talk
scratched
forever.
the surface. To wrap up, though, I wanted to do a quick fire session with you guys.
Oh God.
Just shout some things at you and get you to say stuff back. Basically, it's never quick. We're gonna go quick. We are. You ready?
Yes.
All right. Morning audition or evening performance?
Evening performance.
Morning audition.
Self-tape
I'm in
or
bed
in
by
person?
9 o'clock, sorry, yes.
Self-tape or in-person audition?
Both.
Both.
Yeah.
In person,
All of
if
it.
we're not thinking about childcare.
Fair enough. Tea or coffee?
In
Coffee.
person. Tea.
Oh, okay.
Earl Grey, thank you.
Biggest mum hack? You both put the
No,
same
I've got
hashtag.
nothing to.
Raffi is my mum hack, the singer Raffi.
Okay,
He's
yeah.
a Canadian 70s folk singer, and he is my mum hack.
Okay,
Put him on
good to know. I might
Spotify.
check that out.
Raffi.
Okay, I'm going to check that out.
I've got nothing.
Fair enough, that's fine. Okay. One thing you wish drama school had taught you about motherhood?
That you can have babies. I feel like it was never meant.
Do it. Yeah.
Do it, yeah. Never
Literally
mentioned, don't
never
do it.
mentioned.
Or one word to describe motherhood.
The best.
Nice.
2 words.
Take it. Don't worry, one word to describe acting.
That's hard.
I'm sweating so much. I can't think of a word.
Acting.
Reacting.
Me. Who I am.
Me.
A fellow actor mum who inspires you. Ooh, I don't think I have one.
Phoebe.
Allegra.
Look at that. It's beautiful.
And someone, a member of Mother Act, Yolanda Kettle,
Yeah,
who's just
I was
opened
thinking.
in Arcadia last night on the West End with 3 kids. And
sick.
that's inspiring.
Oh,
It is so inspiring, yeah.
that's amazing. All right, shout out to you, babes. All right, cool. Finish the sentence. Mother Act exists because...
We need community.
And support.
Nicely done.
That's why we're a team. Both Virgos.
What? Brilliant. Ladies, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having
Thank you.
us.
You
No.
are so cool.
Yeah.
No, honestly, you coming here and sharing what you're doing and why you're doing it is so, so important. I don't think mothers who are actors in that space, I don't think they know how much is available to them and it's at their fingertips if they just have the right questions.
Yeah.
And I find that you are asking the right questions and you're telling them or showing them how it's done and
Yeah.
where to go, what to look for, what the resources. And so I think that's just super key for an industry or a career that's absolutely mental, amazing, but nuts.
It's
And it-
very important to feel you're not alone.
yeah,
And it should
that-
help everyone across the board in the
Yeah,
industry. It's
exactly.
just communication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Guys,
Thank
this
you.
was awesome.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
Yay.
As always, if this episode resonated with you, I would love to hear your thoughts. Share it with another mum who needs the reminder that her dreams are still valid. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you on the next one.